everyone! I'm back with another little reading journal video. Today what I thought I would do is I would update my reading journal, and that way I can show you all of the yearly spreads that I've set up in this journal. It's a little bit different. I decided not to do a voiceover because I'm just going to be talking through what I'm doing while I'm doing it, so voiceover seemed a bit redundant for that. I also just missed the whole set up my reading journal with me part, so I decided this might be a good way to show you how it's looking on the inside. Okay, so usually I do this a couple of times a week, or no, that's a lie. Usually I do this about every week, and then every month I do a whole collective update of all the yearly challenges that I'm doing, readathons that I'm doing, all of that kind of stuff. But if I read a book, I usually put it in here, and then we see by the end of the month what else needs to be done. But I'm a bit behind, which is actually a good thing for this video, so we're gonna have to do all of it. I'm just gonna show you how it looks. Now, obviously, I have my rating system here, which is just, I use the Copile system that's been made by Book Roast, I think. So G over at the Book Roast, who is also hosting the Readathon this month. So she invented this whole thing, and I've been using it for 3 years. Yeah, 3 years, I think. So that's what have been set up. And then we get to the first little spread that I have to update. Now, as I think as of right now, I've read 17 books. So we have a little bit. I'm never, by the way, never gonna get to 101. It's not gonna happen. But dream big is, I think, the whole, what I was thinking here and what I thought was a good idea here. As I don't know if it's going to be showing up, but I did use a little bit of whiteout. For those of you who want to start a bullet journal, I think one of the biggest things is, this is not my first. I've done this before. This is, I think, the third or fourth one that I've set up. So I have made mistakes. I still make mistakes. Just set it up. Just do it. Mistakes and all. It really doesn't matter. In my opinion, just... It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be a job. It's not supposed to be a big thing. But so this is the first one that I have to set up. So I think we were at book number 13. This way you can see a little bit of how I do my things. Don't read if you don't want any spoilers. So number 13 was House in the Cerulean Sea. So then I'm gonna keep it a bit closed for this one because I have written some reviews and I don't want to spoil anyone. So I have all of the colors for the genre that I'm reading. And as you can see, I'm a mostly fantasy, romantasy girly. So it's basically gonna be more of the same. So I think I have 5. I have 5 books to update. Yes, I do. Okay. So that would mean we're going to start with Valor is number 14 that I read, which is epic fantasy. I didn't really realize that I was going to be reading epic fantasy, but here we are. So 14 was Valor, so that's fantasy, very much so. Then I do see that 16 was Quicksilver. I would say that's romantasy. So I'm gonna do one of these. The reason I'm doing it is because I know what's coming. Oh, I've read 18 books. Ooh, just realized I finished Fourth Wing yesterday. My reread during the buddy readathon thingy with Donna that I did, and with Hermie. Then 15 I've seen was Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Obviously this one was Quicksilver. This one was Funny Story. Might have those flipped though, but doesn't really matter. And then Fourth Wing, obviously, Romantasy. I had no idea this was gonna get such a big thing, or it was gonna be such a big genre. Now here, this is just a little fun little thingy that I did as well. I don't know, it's basically the same thing. It's just a different way of tracking the books that I've read, in the way that it's showing the, how should I say, how many books I read in a month is what it's showing. And I think for March we decided on green. I did do House in the Cerulean Sea, and I read 5 books in March, so we're just gonna color in 5. And then I just go in with this really fine pen, because some of the book titles are quite long and some of the books here are quite thin. Not the neatest handwriting, but it's not really necessary in my opinion. This is just for me. Then I have 2 book bingos that I'm actually doing this year, which is the 25 and 25 by 4 Paws in a Book. And then we have the series takeover reading challenge by Rainy Blue Reads. If you've seen my April TBR video, then you will know that I have a bit of a thing when it comes to series and continuing, finishing series, all the things. So this is my way of making sure that I actually continue with it, and I'm actually on track to finish and keep up to date with the series that I have. I did a bit of a check, and I think I have a few of these little thingies that I printed out. I think one word title we got, because we got Quicksilver. Now I know I probably have, like, I'll show you. We have number in the title, so I could have done Fourth Wing as well, but I'm trying to spread them out so I can actually have a bit of fun throughout the entire year, so I don't fill them out all at once. So I usually try to make it so that I have at least one book a month that I can put on here. So that should do, and then by the end of the year I can just see which one I have left and then just put them in where they could fit. Or, well, hopefully. It would be quite annoying if by the end of the year I actually don't have a few. So then I pasted them in a little bit so that I can just, under here, paste in the one that fits the prompt that's on the top here. Okay, so for the series takedown challenge, I use this Tombow brush pen, and I think what I've chosen here was, where is it? Hold on. Ah, this one. Second book in a series. So we're gonna black that one out. Ooh, okay. Getting close. If it's not obvious, I'm going for a blackout. I don't know if I'm going to be having that. A bingo is enough. Blackout is better. I'm going to be picking The Right Move, which is the second book in the Windy City series, I think. Yeah, by Liz Tom 40. Really enjoying those. Been listening to those. I haven't really read them, but just been listening, and it's been a hoot. So just the same thing here. Same board. Then next one, we have the alphabet challenge. I think if you have a booktube, or if you have a bookstagram or a book bullet journal, you'll know this. It's just very simple. It's if you read a book that has a title that starts with any of the letters of the alphabet, you get to paste it in. So I had quite a few this time. I had a Q, I had an F, I had Book Lovers, and I had Red Queen. So pretty good. Now For this one, I don't do one a month because there's 26 letters in the alphabet, and yeah, there's once a month obviously isn't gonna cut that, so we just paste them in when we get them. Honestly, if you've seen or if you've been in any of the sprints where I've talked about this one, we used to live here, it was quite a journey. Just gonna leave it at that. I think I mentioned it actually in my April setup as well, that during the reading of this book, it's basically a haunted house book. And while I was reading a book about a haunted house, my lights in the bathroom decided to first flicker and then give out on me entirely. As the fact that I have never or haven't really read a ton of haunted house books, it's yeah, that was interesting. That was, as the kids would say, a mood. Then this one. This is ambitious and it's not gonna happen. Once again, this is just for fun. I wrote down the top 10 books in every single one of these Goodreads Choice Awards categories. So I basically have romance, romantasy, fantasy, YA fantasy, fiction, YA fiction, and then I did add mystery and thriller, even though I don't really read a lot of mystery and thriller, but I did want to have one of the genres in here that I don't read quite often, so that when I want to read something that's out of my comfort zone, it's very easy to just pick one of these, and I know they're going to be good because a lot of people voted for them, hopefully. And then obviously also debut novels, because I think writers need to be supported, and definitely when it comes to debut authors, debut novels, I just want to give them the support. So obviously we used to live here. I've only read 5, it would seem. Yeah, 5. But I'm hoping there's going to be a bit more by the end of this year. Then we've got some Faith Fall Along pages. They haven't been filled out because this one is going to be for the Faithful and the Fallen series, and then this one is going to be for the Blood and Bone series that we're also going to be reading. It's just going to be my overall thoughts. I think you can read one book in the series, but it's obvious that from the second I read the second book in the series, especially with the Faithful and the Fallen, it was obvious that I'm only going to get the overall picture when I've read all of it. So I only want to fill this out when I've read the whole entire series. And then I'm going to write all of my thoughts, maybe some favorite quotes, maybe some fan art, and we'll see what I make of those. I'm sure you'll see them either on Instagram or maybe over here on the YouTube channel. Then these, I think this might be my favorite 2 pages in my bullet journal, I'm not gonna lie. So we have the book bracket. Now I know book brackets usually look a little bit differently. Usually you have your favorite book every single month, and then they go like January versus February, March versus April, and so on and so forth. And then you come together and pick your favorite. This is actually an idea that I got from over at Yashi Corinne. She had this whole entire system pointed out, and I think it's a way better system to figure out what's actually your favorite book of the year. So I'm doing this one. Obviously, I've only had 2 favorites that I've read that I knew as soon as I finished those books, they needed to be on this list, which was Kingdom of Ash. I started the year by finishing Throne of Glass. It's quite the start of a year. I have no idea how I'm going to be setting that. I hope that means that the rest of my year is going to be a really great reading year, and everything's going to be lovely, and it's going to be 5 stars everywhere. So as you can see, I've been doing pretty good. So as I said, like on here, we have our monthly reading stats. So what do I track on here? I track the books that I read, physical ones, ebooks, audiobooks. Audiobooks are reading. Just getting that out there. The number of pages I read, the number of minutes that I've listened, the average rating of all the books that I read that month, how many 5 stars I had, how many DNFs, and how many rereads. Because I am someone who loves to reread a book. I love the comfort of it. I love the fact that I'm picking up a book that I know I'm gonna love, and it's just another little fun thing to track. In March that I read 5 books. I also know I could fill out a few things, but like the pages and stuff I'll figure out later. I think Quicksilver and Fourth Wing were both rereads, so we had 2 rereads again. We did not have any DNFs, which is great for me. I read 2, no, hold on. How many physical? Yes, I did. I read Quicksilver and Valor were physical ones. Book Lover Funny Story were ebooks. And then Fourth Wing, obviously, was a graphic audio. Don't think I had a 5 star. I didn't. Nope. Sad. First month with no 5 stars. Okay. Next challenges are these 2. Now, these are year-long readathons, or I guess they're readathons, that I want to track in my bullet journal or in my reading journal. And the first one is the buzzwordathon. Like I said on my April TBR video, they have made 2 little bingo boards or buzzword challenges this year. This is a challenge by Books with Lala, by the way. So we have a book cover challenge and we have a reading challenge. So the normal book challenges, there's a word in there, there's something. So obviously this month the cover was books, for which I obviously read Book Lover. So we're gonna get that in there. And sadly, I actually didn't read anything for Thing in March. I do know which book I wanted to read. I think what I wanted to read was Things We Never Got Over. And for some reason, I didn't get around to it. Work, personal, it was all just a bit busy and a bit hectic. I am a firm believer, every readathon, every challenge that I do, it needs to stay fun. If it's not fun anymore, then I just don't really bother with it, or I just don't do it anymore. So in this one, I am still planning on reading it. It's just not going to be today or this month. I hope I might get to it, but I think the chances are pretty slim. Then the Aurelium Readathon, obviously, which is the readathon that's going on right now. We have the spring equinox, but there's also the Year in Eldia adventure, which has a whole different bunch of prompts that G has written out in a ginormous Google Doc. So that one is definitely something that I do every single month. And this one, or this time, I know it was a drink on the cover. And I picked Funny Story for that one. As you guys can see, I like to double up because I've been reading more than I usually do, but I haven't, I know I'm not going to be reading 100 books. I know I'm not going to be reading, I think last year I read about 30, I think. I have to go check, but it was definitely not the amount of reading that I'm doing now. I think I'm almost even at half of the books that I read last year. Or was it like 49 or something, or 50? I don't know. The fact that I'm already at 18 books means I'm well on my way to go way over that. So it's been insane. And like I mentioned in my April my April reading journal setup, it's been the readathons and the challenges have really helped to amp up the amount of reading that I'm doing. Also the fact that I found, or that I'm now using a app, the Storytel app, to help me with the audiobooks that I'm actually listening to, because I do always have a 20-25 minute commute into work. So that's about 40 minutes a day when I actually do have work. So the books go really easily that way. And obviously I have also been joining in a bunch of sprints, so that also helps to focus and really do some reading when I'm done with everything else that I have to do for that day. So the prompt for this one was drink on the cover. Now the reason why I'm actually writing this down is because I don't know, it's really tiny, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but it's much better explained in the Google Doc. It sort of depends the direction that you're going. So yeah, so then we have the Aurelium Readathon, and I think that's all. So we have the buddy reads and the read-alongs. Obviously, I still have to put the ones in that I'm doing for April, which is again going to be Donna and Laura, who is Hermie over at the Book Hermit. I'm going to be doing Iron Flame with them. So that's the final thing that I update. Actually, this time, I do have one little thing that I need to update, because in my April setup, I forgot to put a little thingy in it, which was Donna Marie Reads. She has a 72-hour readathon every month, and I don't know if it wasn't out yet, or if I forgot, or if I just didn't pay attention to it, but I forgot to put this in. Now, what I'm gonna do off camera is I'm gonna just paste this on here and just gonna put it back in here. The reason I don't want to put it down here at the bottom is basically I'm gonna be reading way too much to only have this much space to fill in all the books I'm gonna be reading this month. Hopefully. Important little connotation. There. A little bit of washi tape. Honestly, once again, little pro tip for you here. If you're just starting out with like bullet journaling, washi tapes, one of the easiest ways to make your bullet journal look a lot fancier and a lot prettier, and making it look like you've put in a lot more effort than you actually have. Oh, it's not really sticking there, so we're just gonna add a little bit of glue. There we go. It's also gonna make sure that it's gonna stick nicely, just in case the glue comes undone a little bit. Yeah, and it's all in theme, because it's all spring, nice spring colors. So that's going to be the end of that video. This is how I update my reading journal every single month. I do try to do it every single week, but I think we all know that sometimes life gets in the way and we forget. But the most important thing is that it's happening and that we're having fun with it. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to share what I've made and how I did it. I noticed that a lot of people were very excited about the first video I made about the reading journal and the April setup. So I just thought, why not give you guys a little bit of a peek into what I do every single month, hopefully every single week, to make sure that I track everything that I read. It's a fun way, it's a hobby, it's not something that I put any pressure on myself to do. It's a form of self-care, which is perfect for the Readathon that we're doing. Like I said, if you want to do this for yourself, do it, have fun. Don't sweat the small stuff. If you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. There's stickers, there's whiteout, there's everything that you can need to fix those mistakes if you want to, or you can just embrace them and make them into a little doodle or anything like that. There are so many ways to be creative in just basically blank pages. These are just nice blank pages that you just so happen to have dots on them. Also, by the way, I did not start out in our journal of bullet journals. I didn't. They're quite expensive. They are nice quality, but they are expensive. Just have fun with it. Make it your own. This is my way of doing it. This is not the way of doing it. Just have fun, be yourself, and enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. That was a little bit of a vocal crack there. Anyway, I think that's my sign to stop talking and to just say goodbye to everybody. And thank you guys all again to be here and watching this video. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.